Executive Mayor, Honorable Mrs. and Executive that we are confronting due to these catastrophic disasters that we have experienced here. We're still working very hard. So far, no latest update on figures. We haven't yet received other new discoveries in terms of missing people. Our teams are still out there looking for the missing bodies. We're quite happy that there's a huge progress in terms of autopsies or post-mortems. Many families, I think almost around 30, have already approached the forensic to take their bodies to various funeral parlors. We have received a lot of support, material support from different funeral parlors that are willing to help join hands with government to make sure that we support these families. Government has made a commitment that we will do everything in our power to support, especially those who are in need of support. Yes, we know not all families are in the equal state of a situation. Some they can handle the issues of funeral themselves, but where possible, we'll be able to come in as government and assist. In other words, we're trying to say every victim will actually be given a decent send-off, whether a person affords or not affording. So far so good in terms of the work on the ground, and the forensics working with the South African police services, that being supported by our rescue teams, as you would see today, that those rescue teams were still on the ground. The gift of givers, they've been with us the whole day, together with the rescue team that has been actually going through the river, trying to mop up and see if we cannot identify the other missing people. You have seen President himself literally being on the ground, walking those difficult muddy streets to see exactly what has happened, and also to imagine what our people were experiencing on the day when their houses were submerged. So as a provincial government, I think we've been doing our level best to deal with the situation, difficult as it is, but we must appreciate people in that community because they've been very much cooperative. I think our collaboration with them is helping us to handle the situation much more easier. Yes, there are short to medium, medium to long term solutions that are needed there. You've got to address the problems of the land invasion and then the ownership of the land so that we can begin to regularize the environment into that space. So we will be able to reach out to the owners of the land, the church. Yes, we hear that the community says there the land has been donated. We don't want to talk about that. We'll be able to hear that exactly from the owners of the land, the church that owns that part of the land. So we want to get our people having services. We can't, as you were listening, people saying we've got a problem of gender-based violence and femicide. So it's just the issue of electricity is no longer about luxury. It's a security issue. So you can't, in this day and age, in the peri-urban setup like that, having people without electricity. So we've got to conclude this conversation around the ownership of the land so that we can deploy all the necessary resources to upgrade and improve the livelihood of our people in that environment. So our teams will remain firmly on the ground to make sure that we are able to help our people. We are having those people in those temporal shelters and would want to get them back into their houses, and some they can still go back and have lives. But what I've seen in those houses, everything that our people owned there has been obliterated. So clearly they will be starting lives from scratch. No furniture, no actually beds, etc. Even if they go back into their houses, yes, there will be always a caution on those who are on the flood, the plains. That is those who are actually constructed below the flood lines. Then surely we will be very much reluctant to get those ones back. But if you look at the situation, the water was moving inland, as people explain, almost 500 to 700 meters. It's actually far away even from the flood plain, as you may say. But these are scientific issues that we definitely need to conclude. I think the president, in his doorstep, as he was concluding the visit, he has summed it up on what are we going to be doing moving forward. Yes, of course, as provincial government, having a converse with the president around the issue, that we should really be considering a provincial day of mourning around this issue. We have never seen something like this. I think we've got to use every kind of a tool we have to really appeal to God around this issue. Definitely, I don't think there's any one of us would want to see something like that, and something that we have seen in the recent past. So surely we'll be able to bring all the interfaith, the religious community, everybody else to talk and appeal to our people, but also to try to use that platform as part of our psychosocial support. As you would understand that the counseling is ongoing on the other side, but you know our people, they definitely need that kind of interaction, that appeal. So we've got to appeal to everybody to try to help us and deal with all those kind of issues. So from where I'm seated, I think it's so far so good. Now it's about how do we assist families to bury their loved ones, and how do we commemorate their lives, and to allow everybody to make necessary reflections. I think that's a kind of work that we have. So we're still appealing to business so that we continue feeding those people in the temporary shelters to keep coming and supporting us. That is quite helpful, and we're quite pleased that in almost all our disaster centers, whether it's Butterworth, the business people have been calling me even today, committing to buy food, blankets. So we are creating those clothes banks and food banks so that people can deposit, and our teams, volunteers that are helping us, the churches, the Anglican Church, Mama Bomanyano, they also came forward to assist us in one of those centers. So I'm just saying everybody is on board. Everybody is keen and willing to play part. Ms. Balfour, for instance, at Ultra City, I requested her to set up a coffee station and a soup kitchen, especially in those centers, so that even if food is still coming, there's something that is going. And all those people have embraced that. We've linked them with all the other teams, like your women from the Anglican that were coming forward to saying they would want to support us. So with that, from our side, I think colleagues can add where necessary. Water, as it was said, will be starting to be reticulated properly this afternoon, and we've already seen in certain areas they were not going to come once in all areas, but the reticulation has actually started getting back, and I'm quite happy with the president feedback also on how are we going to get support from the national government to deal with infrastructure that has been so damaged by this. And everybody thought that when you're talking about a bridge, you talk about those low-lying bridges that we normally experience the overflooding on them. Everybody got shocked that it's a normal bridge on a national road. So that's why no one can explain exactly what has happened. What kind of water that would have been almost 3 meters high moving into that kind of space. Where that water was coming from, that remains a question that we will still get it out scientifically as we move forward. So if there are any things, Honorable MEC Williams is the one leading us here, DDM champion, or district executive mayor, you can say, but all the teams here, they are here to assist on that. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thank you so much, Premier.
No, I think the Premier has really raised all manner of issues that are necessary, but just going forward, we are going to be working ourselves out in terms of the people that are below the flat line, because we feel that urgently we need to define the red line where we must clearly indicate to whoever is staying there that they can no longer reside in that area. So ourselves as Kokta and the local municipality, King Sabata Dalingyebo, will be engaging those people through social facilitation process as a proactive program moving forward. Social facilitation, interacting with them, looking for alternative land so that those people can be relocated, but that would need proper consultation with that community. But yesterday, through our interactions with them, they were very much amenable. I think they are tired, and what they have seen is quite flabbergasting to them. So they would want to be relocated as soon as possible. So we're going to be working on that with the municipality, so that we can ensure that at least we mitigate any repeat of this particular situation. I think that's the only thing I can say for now. Thank you.
All right, now thank you so much, MEC. Colleagues, quick one, if we can just take one round.
Probably Mayor can tell us that they've declared already the disaster.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I do confirm that our council said today to take that kind of a decision, whose implication is obviously to ratify some of the decisions that we have taken since the incident, meaning which we will be better able now to manage even the situation of remaining with those people who are at the rescue places, obviously working together with the social development department. We also would want to confirm what the Premier has mentioned, that we have made a significant progress in restoring water in town. There are areas that we're starting to see water going through. We think that before we sleep today, certain parts of areas like Fort Gale, Ngambedlana, etc. will be having water, and we estimate that by the end of business tomorrow, all our communities will be having the state of their water infrastructure back to normality. The installation of those pumps that are coming from repairs will be taking place throughout the night, and we are certain that by tomorrow we'll be in a much better position. Thank you.
So I just forgot I spoke about the provincial day of mourning, and we have agreed on Thursday, the 19th of June, next week. That will be the day that we are calling all people in South Africa, in Eastern Cape, in a corner where you are, to give yourself a moment Sizawucela omama bangolwesine, omama bomanyano bonke beze sibe sikwindawo eyi-1 apha eMthatha, abalapha eMthatha, just to give honor and praise to God that we still have many lives that were rescued and saved. So that's the day that we will be going for, in ensuring that we are able to come together and also commemorate the lives of these people that we have lost through this disaster. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yes, we are working on that declaration. Our teams are consolidating, as we have said, that we would want to make sure that when you go to that, and the province is not only looking at this, it also looks in the province in its entirety, all the districts that were affected. So we are working on that. We'll be having a special executive council to conclude that matter in the next few days. But fortunately, the national has already gone, and because the classification already has been done by national through the COCTA on the matter. But for compliance, we'll have to do it on our side as well.
Thank you so much, Premier. Colleagues, any other taker?
Okay, stand here from News 24. If we can just get clarity, Premier, or the MECs and mayors, what happened to the electricity supply for the community of the Colleen, and what was an issue? Was complaining that they've been without electricity for quite some time. Yeah, I think that's my question. Thanks.
My question would be to ask, sorry, the multitasking.
Basiyafuna le umbane umnikazi wawo ngiyelwa. Ayicacisa kakuhle bhethe singayibuthi.
Thanks, Honorable Premier. The issue of electricity, the Colleen electricity, for starters, the infrastructure we are having is our infrastructure as the municipality, which is an infrastructure which was addressing the school, which is a FATA, and two two service providers which were addressed by the network. Then what happened is the community, after circling themselves in a private land, they also connected themselves in the infrastructure. There were about 10 transformers which were confiscated by the law enforcers, that is the security cluster, after we've opened a case as the municipality, because the electricity was being utilized illegally, and we had the distribution losses out of that as the municipality. Now we opened a case, and the security cluster with the municipality went and confiscated the transformers. It's a case, is still a case which is being investigated as we speak. About 10 transformers which were illegally connected in essence. Thank you, Honorable Premier.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
As I've said, I wanted Mayor to explain it, but we have heard about this, we have seen it when we were there a few days ago. We've got to service those people. But the issue is how do we then get this issue of land ownership clarified as a matter of agents. There's no way that you can have such kind of a community without electricity, where we are able to apply the bylaws of the municipality for compliance and all that. But of course we condemn such kind of behavior when people are illegally connecting themselves to the grid. So it's something that it cannot be commended. It's wrong. It should not be done by anyone. It's dangerous as well. But I think we've got to. Fortunately, there is infrastructure already. I'm just saying because we can't wait for the court case. If it takes 10 years, and how do you deal with the issue of people? There are young people who are going to school, older people, some they need medication that must be refrigerated and all that. So these are issues that we assist with now. Now that we are exposed, the COGTA will definitely, as he said, to be closer there in facilitating whatever that needs to be facilitated, so that we can make a proper intervention that must actually address the kind of living conditions those people are currently subjected to.
Last one, Sipa.
Sipa from Newsroom Africa. I think this one is for you, MEC, regarding because it's a much talked about conversation, people building on floodlines, when are they going to be moved, how are they going to be moved? I think just a little bit more detail, because this has been a conversation for quite some time now. So there should be just at least a bit of detail to how exactly it's going to happen. For example, people who have built their homes like brick and mortar instead of, it's not an informal settlement. Where will they be moved to? How will they be compensated for the houses that they have built? People will not move to temporary shelters or temporary units when they're coming from a 4-bedroom house. So what is the plan around that? What is the discussion around that?
I believe Sipa have already responded to that question, in that when I talk social facilitation is to look into such matters. Remember, if you construct a house below the flood line, ordinarily that's your responsibility. I would not want to raise anyone's hopes that government would compensate anyone for such a move. So what we're going to do is to engage with the communities, bring a report back to government and say this is the situation, these are the discussions with those communities. As I said, they are seemingly very much amenable to move. Although they may have wasted large sums of money to construct, some are very beautiful houses that in my view have crossed the red line. So what we're going to do is to engage with them. So our public participation team, town planners that will be working with them, will come engage with them, the councillors of that area, engage with the communities. We will also ourselves and the mayor come here to engage the community to try and persuade them to move away, especially on those red line zones. And any discussions that we may engage on, there was a view in during the morning, even with the president, that we may have to engage human settlements in those engagements, so that we see if some are agreeable to some form of housing that human settlements can provide. We then look at their legal whether they are qualifying to get such or what, but that will be determined by a task team that we will establish working with MEC Lusiti to ensure that we coordinate ourselves so that we bring a report back to cabinet and say this is the status, and we then from there we make a determination on what. But this must be quick, because we are quite edgy in that anything that happens now may actually be seen as dereliction of duty or negligence from government. So we have to run quickly to finalize this project. So we will keep you updated on what it is that we're doing and what recommendations we have. I think Cabinet spokesperson will also indicate once we have finalized the approach as to how we're going to implement the work going forward.
The work for the province, not just for our town.
We'll be
I'm just sorry.
Yeah, we'll be starting with the crisis area.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Premier, MECs and executive mayors for engaging with us today. Colleagues, thank you so much once again. We will keep you updated in the next couple of days in terms of what's obtained on the ground. Thank you.
Thank you.
Premier, let's do it.